Hello Booktube, and my name is Elizabeth. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Book as in Books. For this video that is going to come out on the scariest day of the year, Halloween, I'm going to announce that I'm going to take part in the scariest challenge on Booktube, the Read What You Own challenge. It is a challenge created by Ollie from Criminally, and the co-hosts are Greg from Another Bibliophile Reads, Andre from Reading This Life, and Crystal from Fiber Artsy. And the challenge is rather simple. You are simply invited to read the books that you own. You set yourself a target of a number of books that you want to read before you acquire any other book. Simple, isn't it? Very simple. Have I ever tried it before? Yes. Have I ever succeeded before? No, not even close. So the original challenge was to read 100 of your own books before you acquire any other book. And of course, I never tried that when I knew it was useless. It takes me almost a year to read 100 books. This year, I may not even read 100 books. So going over a year without buying books, acquiring books, is ridiculous. It's just going to torture me. It serves no useful purpose. However, that being said, I do need a little incentive. I do need to try a bit more self-control when it comes to acquiring books. Because since I've joined Booktube, not that I've acquired more books than I've read. It's about the same number. I acquired the same number of books that I read. But I don't just read the books that I own. I read books from the library. I read books from not Scribd, what's the new name of the app, Everend. I read books from Project Gutenberg. I read books from other sources. So I end up with more unread books on my shelves and more every year. And I've tried a few times to go on a book buying diet, but this year, I think it's a good year. So it's the 4th year of the challenge, and now they have created some tiers because 100 books, it's just too much for most people. So the suggestions are either 100 books, that's the platinum level, 75 books, that's the gold level, 50 books, that's the silver level, or 25 books, that is the bronze level. And in previous years, I said I'm going to go for the snowflake level of 10 books. And I failed at the snowflake level of 10 books. Pathetic. Pathetic, because 10 books, it's about, 1 month of reading? And I couldn't go a month without buying a book. Yeah, I need to exercise a bit of self-control. But I say that this year is the year, not for 100. I'll go for the lowest level, which is bronze, which is more. I'm aiming for more than I've ever done. I've never done the snowflake level, and now I'm aiming for bronze. However, I'm going to use another option that the hosts have introduced. It's that instead of just counting books, you can count number of pages instead. And the average number of pages for a book they have determined is 250 pages. So that means that for the bronze level of 25 books, I could read a lower number of books, but for a total of 6,250 pages. And I'm thinking that is doable. 25 books, I don't know, but 6,000 pages, 6,250 pages, that is definitely doable. So I decided to go for that. And we are also invited to make more or less our own rules. So I'm going to make my own rules. I'm starting last month. So I'm starting since the last time I bought a book. And the last time I bought a book was on October 1st. So I'm counting anything that I'm finished reading after October 1. And so far, I have read 8 books. So I am 8 books in, so that's a third of the total of 25 books. But in number of pages, I've calculated, I'm already at over 2,600 pages. So that's 42% of the total of pages. So I think I can read another 3,500 pages approximately. I need about 3,500 pages to reach the bronze level. And I think I can do it. This year is the year. So that's what I'm saying on Halloween. I'm going to try the scariest challenge on Booktube, the Read What You Own challenge. I'll survive. Do I have other rules? yes, I would have some other rules. Reread do count, because that's the reason why I have books. I own books, is because I want to reread them. So reread count towards the total. If I read books from the library, it doesn't break the streak, but it doesn't count towards the total. Same thing if I read books from an electronic source such as a Project Gutenberg or Everand, it doesn't count. I don't count Everand as buying books because I'm buying a subscription to a library, in fact. It's a bit like Netflix for books. You just pay for a monthly subscription, whether you use it or not. Well, I could suspend my account for a couple of months, but I don't think it's worth it. So if I read anything from that, it doesn't break the streak because I'm not acquiring books. And however, it doesn't count towards the total pages. And that's it. That's the only rule that I'm going to make. I don't need to make an extra rule for, I don't know, audiobooks, because I don't own audiobooks. So these would be, and I've never paid for an audiobook, so it would be either from the library or from Everand, so the same rules apply. Same thing for ebooks. I've never paid for an ebook, so I have not unread ebooks. So anything I would read from either Project Gutenberg, Everand, or an ebook borrowed from the library, it would fall under the same category of not breaking the streak because I'm not acquiring anything. It's borrowed as far as I'm concerned. And that's it. That's it. So that's all I have to say. And I think this time I'm going to reach at least the snowflake level. That's almost guaranteed. I just need to finish 2 more books and I've reached the snowflake level of 10. So I think I'm good for that. And then I'm going to aim for the bronze. And then if I reach bronze, who knows? I may continue. If I feel that it's very satisfying as a challenge, I may continue. I have to say, I was tempted to break the streak even before it started, I guess. Last weekend, I went for a little walk in the market downtown area of Ottawa, and I happened to encounter a protest march. It was a march for Palestine, and I have nothing against the cause, but I hate official protests, marches, or whatever. So I just ducked into the first shop door that I found, and it was the Rideau Center, and it was the door of the Rideau Center that is right next to Indigo, which is the biggest bookstore in town, I guess. So I went to the bookstore and I browsed and I thought, oh, I could buy this. And it was a romance, the latest installment in the Palace of Rogue series by Julianne Long. And I almost bought it, but then I said, no, you're on a streak. Don't break it. You don't need any more books. You don't need any more romance books because you have a reserve of like half a dozen or a dozen even. So you're good. You don't need any more of that. And that book is brand new. So it's going to be available for several months to come. So if I want to acquire it later, it's still going to be available. So I just put it back on the shelf. I waited for the protest to move on, and then I got out of the store and went on my way. So that's a little victory. Yay. And that's it. So hopefully I'll reach the bronze level, hopefully before the end of November. So that would mean 2 months without acquiring a book, and that would leave me free to buy books for myself for Christmas, because I'm allowed, because it's Christmas. So that's it. Thank you everyone for watching, and let me know how well you are doing at the Read What You Own, whether it's as part of the challenge or just on your own. And I will see you in the next video. À la prochaine!